fact check. They call it a fact check. So I guess that means it's true then. No, they call it fact check. Claim that World Trade Center 7 was pre-rigged for controlled demolition. Rating false. Just so you know, the fact checkers. You know, like you came here with some material.
Nah. Let me know when you're recording.
I'm recording.
All right, guys. Last episode was about the last hug. Okay, maybe I don't know. It is what it is. I told the story of the last hug, and Ed didn't think that was important enough, as usual. But it's cool. He told me we have 9/11, which is true. I'm not ready for a 9/11 tight conversation on that, only because I've been looking into it, and everything I thought it was true. I'm kind of doubtful. Okay. But last thing we talked about was Ed asking me where I was or what happened with 9/11. Okay, so let's get some importance to this. You asked me where I was, and both me and Nagayan were in Dominican Republic at the time. I didn't see the minute it all started, but I knew something was going on. Because people started calling my mom because all my family was down here, okay? And my mom was freaking out, man. And my aunt told my mom to put the news on, and she did. And that's when I saw it, and she told me to go away or whatever. What was your other question, Ed? How old I was?
Yeah.
I don't know. I was very young, like 8 years old.
Oh.
I'm 32 now, so I was born in 1990. When was it 9/11?
2001.
2001. Okay.
11.
So I was around 10, 11 years. Yeah, like 11. Thank you, Nagayan. So what's your other question? How old were you, Nagayan? You 1 year older than me, right?
No, the same age.
Oh, yes, sir. Yeah. Okay, cool. And what other questions do you have, Ed? That is very important, of course. 9/11, very important.
By the way,
so
I didn't see the first impact, but when I got home, the news was on, and I saw the second plane fly in or something.
Wow, no, I didn't even see that.
And then it took a long time before, of course, the building collapsed and all the chaos and the.
How old were you, Ed? Like 15?
No, I was pretty old, man. I was like 22, 23, something like that.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because I remember I was working. I was at work. I came back from college, from art school.
You were working at Seneca Casino? At the casino?
No. I was working at Modern. I was working in a landfill. And and we all had to like everything shut down because like it's right by the dam there, the electric the big I forget exactly what they call it, but that big electrical dam that's there.
Mm-hmm.
Built, the one built by what's his name, Nikola Tesla. So
it wasn't built by Tesla. It was designed by Tesla.
Yeah, he designed it. And they built it. Like, okay, man. Like,
the functionality of it, no.
And so they thought that there might be a possibility that those could be hit next. So like, yeah, we all had to like evacuate and all this mess. Yeah, that's where I was at.
Okay. So when you hear this, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking like I listened to your story and I'm like, dude, like didn't you just see this happening on TV where people were jumping out of the building? Like we seen it, man.
Unfortunately, I did not. Years later, I found out that was going on.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what I knew right away. Okay, I knew something was going down. I knew everybody was calling my mom. I know my mom started calling everybody, and I remember that my mom told me right there and then, like really close from where my grandma lives, there was something going on. And now, like very close. It wasn't that close, to be honest. But I don't know why she told me that or whatever.
So guys, so do buildings just fall down like that?
Oh yeah.
They do? Oh, you
All the
believe
time.
it? All the time, huh? I like that.
No. To me, I was baffled, and the day of today, watching a ton of how do you call it,
What, demolition? You're talking about the
like reenactments.
Yeah,
of the
reenactment, yeah.
thing. I still don't understand how that was even possible. That happened. That the building collapsed. But
One time.
steel frames. There's no logic in how that just happened like that.
then how did it happen then?
That's a good question. I mean, the only thing I can think of, and that's still very far because there was a lot of fire, but that also that the buildings collapsed like in 20 minutes or I don't know how much time in between each other, but like they were very closely related. One fell, then the other fell.
Yeah.
But that's something you cannot like. That's not coincidence. How can you time it? How can you?
And then there was the third. There was the third building that fell.
Really?
Oh, you didn't know about this? World Trade
No.
Center number 7.
I don't know about that.
I think it was what, like a 40-story building. Let me see if I can look it up real quick. Oh man, this thing. World Trade Center. Let me see one that's not too long here. I'll just get this one.
But that's exactly what investigators believe happened to the 47-story World Trade Center Building 7 on September 11th. According to a 3-year comprehensive building and fire safety investigation just completed by the National Institute of Standards and Technology, or NIST.
World Trade Center 7 collapsed because of fires. We really have a new kind of progressive collapse that we have discovered here, which is a fire-induced progressive collapse. And in fact, we've shown for the first time that fire can induce a progressive collapse.
There's nothing. It's not like a really good one
back
that shows
on.
it. But you've seen a little bit of
as
it
I'm
where
sure you can see there's a ton of
Yeah, I saw
smoke
it.
coming out right
But
now.
yeah, that's
I'm just
question, why
guessing
did that one
the
collapse?
fire seems to be worse on. It looks like it's about 15 floors down from the top of the building.
Yeah, one of the eyewitnesses.
and the way the building fell. That's also how you think about that's controlled demolition actually.
dude, like, how is this not on here? This is crazy.
So yeah, years later, I saw footage, like actual footage of the whole thing, and yes, compared to something rammed into it, like the airplane, for example.
Yo,
Yeah.
y'all seeing this, right? Independent fact check. The fact checkers, they're on this one. Fact check. World Trade Center Building 7 collapsed due to fire, not pre-rigged explosives. Just so you know, okay? Just so you know. And claim that World Trade Center 7 was pre-rigged for controlled demolition, rating false. Just so you know, the fact checkers, they're fact checking this one. Whenever you see a fact check, that means the opposite is true. Every time. Every time. They got to make sure you're not looking up the wrong stuff here.
What do you think, Victor? Why you have not
Fact check. They call it a fact check. So I guess that means it's true then, huh? They call it fact check. No wonder I can't find any videos of this. I'm like, they probably they suppressed them or took them off.
I'm donating my chips.
I don't believe you.
Congratulations.
I don't believe you photoshopped that.
Just
You
just
gotta,
submit
like,
yourself
you're
as
like-
you need to.
Oh no, I host them. If I choke on one of these, it's your fault.
You gotta go to Twitter or go like somewhere else to find footage of that. But you've seen a little bit of it. It's a 47-story building. It was right next to the other two towers, and it just collapsed. Wasn't hit, nothing, just collapsed. Perfect demolition. And 47 stories is pretty tall, because you got to think the casino, right? Like, how many stories is the hotel? Angel, what is that, like 27?
No, it's
I heard like 27.
it is about 27.
Dude, and that's a tall building, man. That building that fell was 47 stories. That had to be a really tall building, and it just fell from nothing. And they claiming that fires caused the building to just a controlled demolition. Fires just collapsed the building. So what's your theory? How does this happen?
So I actually been watching videos on this, and no, it doesn't seem like people were saying that the beams heat up so much that they just collapse. Some other people were saying that just like from the not the wind, but from like the impact of the other stuff hitting the floor, and it destabilized the other building. I don't believe that either. No, in my opinion, the most credible one is that somebody fixed the building to. What are you doing?
Tallest building in downtown Manhattan, and it was actually before the World Trade Center was the tallest. And then when they built the World Trade Center, it became known as the second tallest, and now it's the tallest.
I watched as people jumped, and I watched the second plane come in parts of New Jersey, Jersey City, but parts of New Jersey. I saw people getting together and in fairly large numbers celebrating as the World Trade Center was coming down. I watched our police and our firemen down on 7-Eleven, down the World Trade Center right after it came down. Everyone who helped clear the rubble. And I was there, and I watched, and I helped a little bit.
He said he's seen people who are celebrating. I heard a lot about that. That there was like, and it was in New Jersey too. And
that people were celebrating that the building fell, but not that the people had died, right?
Because it was mission accomplished. That's why they were celebrating. I've heard that multiple times.
Explain that to me.
These were foreign agents, and they're sitting there celebrating like, okay, guys, it worked. And they're
what do you mean
foreign agents? Like, who you think rigged the building up with explosives? Who you think did it?
Okay, so I'll tell you what I heard. And you tell me, because you obviously you know more than I. But I heard that okay, so the U.S. economy information. What was the Twin Tower for?
It was a whole bunch of office buildings, and there like different companies had different buildings, but it was also something to do with like. It was something to do with like finance or something to do with like, because they said like a lot of money and records and stuff was kept in there, and government spending and stuff like that, and a lot of it was kept in those buildings.
So yeah, the government spending was kept in there. Okay, like all the information, all the records, all the like, and they were getting audited for like their expensive and what they were doing, and therefore they set up. But this this would imply that it was actually the U.S. government who was doing this, because the government was working against the government to see how much corruption was going on, and I don't know this guy's name, but there was a guy that was supposed to be there and that plane, and he didn't take the plane the last minute, and he just kind of like went off, like safely went.
There was a lot of people who were supposed to be at work that day that didn't show up.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I just think maybe the other buildings were like collateral, but I think one of the Twin Towers didn't have nothing to do with the economy of the government or anything like that, and that was the other building that had something to do with like trades and all these things. So I think that's what really happened, in my opinion. I don't think it was the airplane. I think it was a setup. I think the airplane did go in there.
You tell me that say it's CGI. They moved in there in like over like a few months or whatever. They were rigging the building up with explosives, and they were pretending that they were some sort of contractors, but the whole time they're rigging the building up. And when it was time, it okay.
In New York City, okay, this is very easy to do in New York City. Have you ever been in New York City?
No.
New York City always is being repaired and checked for repairs, okay? There's always these steel beams and stuff like that. So construction workers is the last thing you would question around there.
Yeah.
I lived in New York City, okay? Construction worker, big construction trucks, demolition teams, all these things. Easy to hide in plain sight. Nobody questioned these, okay? And yeah, why not, man? If you know you're doing something wrong, we got to do something about it, because how many people were involved in this? Okay, let's say for example, this is me talking shit, of course, I don't know, but let's say Weinstein had something to do with the records or anything like that. How many people did he have in his books? You understand? Imagine.
Or you mean Epstein,
records.
Sir?
Epstein. I'm sorry. I always call him Weinstein. I don't know.
Well, Weinstein was sort of doing his thing too, just.
but not in the same way. But you know what I mean. Epstein. Imagine that they had these records that this money went to fund this or fund that, and funny stuff all around. I can't tell you what it was, but yeah, I believe it. I 100% believe it. I believe that people care about money more than they care about people or lives. I believe that 100%.
Angel, if you could make that kind of money, you would be doing the same thing.
I would not. I would never. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I would never trade my soul for no amount of money. I would never. I have plans for like this life and the next one.
Angel, we're talking billions here. We're talking billions. You could be set. Your kids can be set.
Man.
Everybody's set.
So I got you. I do understand that, right?
And you're not pulling the trigger. It's not you.
But this comes down to the ethical dilemma. I mean, if you see a train coming down a track and there's one people on one side and two people on the other side. If you do nothing, two people die. If you do something, one people dies. What would you do?
Yeah, I brought this up before, right? And it's a good dilemma, right? But the thing is, okay, let's say about me, right? This is the thing about me before I even answer that. Everything I do in life is very hard for me to let go of whatever I have done in my life, okay? It's very hard for me to let go of the choices of the stupid things I have done. I have a really hard issue with letting go of certain things. I analyze things and I overanalyze things, my situation, what if. I would never make a choice like that, and I know
I think
wouldn't.
most people would.
Huh?
I think most people would, man.
I think most people would, but I couldn't, because
Here's what I think, right? I think like this, right? You've been. I remember, right? I was walking to the casino and I seen this wallet just laid out on my way. Like, this is a fat wallet, like all type of bank cards in there, all sorts of money in there. I just picked up the wallet, and then it was outside, you know, it wasn't inside the building. I picked up the wallet, and I made sure I returned it to the desk. Never opened it, nothing. You know, I hope the guy got his wallet back. A lot of money in there, and I didn't take it. But that doesn't mean that I'm a good person. Doesn't mean that I'm an honest person because I did that. It just so happens that I have a job. I got money. I'm fed. Fridge full of food. I don't need the money. You know what I mean? But I think to myself, like, yo, what if I didn't have a job? What if I didn't eat in about 3 days? Would I have still done the same thing, you know? What if I had kids? What if I had kids at home who didn't eat in like 2 days? You know,
I understand that, and
that's
no,
yeah,
it's not the same though. It is not the same because
I think
I've been hungry. I mean, I stole the wallet before. Not stole it, but I found wallets before, and I didn't. I took what was in there.
Okay.
I done it.
Because you was hungry. You was hungry, right?
Yeah. Well.
Would you do it today? Would you do it today? You'd be like, nah, I'm all right. You know, I'm good. I don't need this.
No, but maybe I wouldn't do it because of my kids today. Maybe I wouldn't do it because of that today. Okay, I'm a very different person today than I was before. Okay, I took the money or whatever, but my whole life, I known that I'm not capable of doing that. I would never, I have never and would never do something to somebody who didn't deserve it. I done a lot of messed up shit in my life.
Angel, here's what you would do. Here's what you would say. You know what? I'm not the one pulling the trigger. I'm not the one rigging the explosives. The other guys, they're gonna do it. I'm just gonna give the order or just pay them off.
I wouldn't even want to know about this. I wouldn't even want to know.
You would say, hey, take this money. I don't want to know nothing. Okay, I just get it done. I don't want to know nothing.
Like if they brought this to my attention, you brought it to the wrong person. I just don't want to know. I want nothing to do with this. And I fear God, man. I just believe I have a soul, and it's just no.
Yeah, and the guy, and if you had like a kid at home was starving, you keep the wallet, right? You take the money in the wallet. You would justify. You would say like
nobody would get.
Yeah, I would say
nobody
would.
would.
Changed, but I'll probably take the money and try to find the owner.
You're justified. Say God meant for me to have this wallet. That's why it dropped here for me. Just say something like that. You'll be all right.
No, I mean, I have also done that. I took the money before and I sent the wallet though. No money though.
Okay.
But nobody was hurt that I know of. Maybe he beat up his wife or something, you know. But like that I know of, I caused no harm. You know, just some worrying and stuff. But
you took
no
the
harm.
money. You took the money.
I did, man, but I needed something. It just so had, like you said, I took it as a opportunity that God had sent me.
Yeah, it's a blessing.
For me, it was that time. Yeah, well, a few times, 2 times, 3 times.
Yeah,
but I made sure when I had enough money, I give it back, not to the same person because but I gave back to people. I don't know. Like I said, I've done a lot of messed up things in my life, but I don't agree with that. I think it was on purpose. I think this was a setup. I think somebody just didn't care enough to stop this or do something about this. But there's no way this is a coincidence, or there's no way
and I believe it was also to justify going over into the Middle East and doing their thing over there.
Yeah.
Yes. Wow.
So when these same people are telling you to support this war over here in Ukraine, remember what they did. Don't forget that, because these are the same people. These are the same people. These same people telling you that no, we didn't set explosives on that pipeline. We didn't blow up Nord Stream. These are the same people. Okay, they'll do anything. But that's it, guys. You guys ain't got nothing. I guess we exhausted this. It's almost your bedtime, the guy in.